Welcome to bookleague StoryTime Adventures. I am about to read
the scariest story you've ever heard.
Written by Ron Keres, designed by Arthur Lin.
Let's go!
Get ready for the scariest story you've ever heard. It's much too scary for pictures, so I plan to use words!
Bet you didn't see that coming, did ya?
Chills will spread from your head to your toes. Actually, I'm scared to begin, but here's how it goes. One dreary day in a house just like yours. Thunder was booming and the rain did it pour. It was minutes till midnight when the power went out. The boys, they woke up with a scream and a shout. Lying in bed and certainly scared for what happened next, they were not prepared. First there was a then there was a crack. What could it be? And would it attack? Their tiny hearts began to rapidly pump. But it only became worse when they heard thump, thump, thump. They cowered in fear and hid under their covers. The monster approaching could easily eat brothers. Grrr was the next sound that he made, but the boys were confused as it started to fade. Even though the intruder went further away. This would not be the end of his haunting that day. He began to clang as he was stomping around. The boys heard a bang as something fell to the ground. Arrgh! He yelled. This could not be good. For now the boys knew in the kitchen he stood. What was he looking for? Why was he furious? As scared as they were also quite curious. Against better judgment, they got out of the beds. They stood at the door, blankets over their heads. First they heard followed by crunch, crunch, crunch. The dog whimpered and barked. Did he get eaten for lunch? Then for a moment, things were eerily silent. If they opened the door, would the beast become violent? The silence was broken by drip drop. Drip drop. Was this just a nightmare? And when would it stop? The boys had enough. They knew hiding didn't matter. As they left their dark room, there was a shriek and a splatter. They crept down the hall, preparing for doom, but were shocked and surprised as they entered the room. There he was, a spoon in his hand. This was not a horrible monster, but a familiar man.
Dad!
They cried.
What on earth are you doing?
Dad couldn't respond as he was fervently chewing. Their fear turned to laughter. With the words that would follow, Dad took a drink and proceeded to swallow.
I'm sorry I scared you. Things are not what they seem. It was all for a bowl of delicious ice cream.
And if you would like to know what really made those scary sounds, here is what happened.
Dad opened the door. Then he walked. Then his belly got all like gurgly and stuff. Then he picked up a bowl from the cupboard and dropped it, of course. Probably on his foot because he went, "Arg!" Then the slur was from the whipped cream because dads love whipped cream. I do. Then the crunch, 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 crunch from, eating some peanuts or something. I'm not sure. And then, of course, the bark came from the dog. And then drip, drip, drip from the, the ice cream. And then he stubbed his toe. That's where the shriek came from. And then he dropped his ice cream, which created the splatter. So as you can see, this was not really the scariest story ever told. It was actually the biggest misunderstanding in Halloween history. Let this be a lesson for you kids. If there's something scary out there, it's most likely your dad eating ice cream.